trying to have his way with me tonight. He will not win. This is my third time trying to record this video, okay? And I'm not editing this out. All kinds of things are happening over here. So this is part 3 of a 3-part series that I've been teaching this week on building wealth, like in a biblical sense, in a biblical way. So tonight's topic is for part 3 is how to multiply what is already in your hands. Some of you all are looking for a miracle and you think that God is going to like knock on your door and show up in a Rolls Royce and come to your house and say, "Hey, I'm here to pick you up for the miracle that I have for you." Y'all, that's not the way it works. It works in motion, your motion. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me get into it. All right, so you're not behind. This is what I want you to take away from this. You're not behind because you don't have money. Now, I am Coach Kelly J. I am the coach's coach, which means I coach coaches. And I know after coaching 12 years and coaching over 20,000 students in the space, if I sat and I asked 1,000 people, why do you think you're not to where you want to be in regards to your goals? 1,000 of them would say something that literally stemmed back to, I don't have the money to X, I don't have the money to Y. It would come back to some sort of money. And we're gonna bust that tonight because it ain't so. It's not true. Can we talk about it? Drop me an emoji if you're here live with me on Facebook, because I'm gonna give you a breakthrough. I want you to get this breakthrough this weekend. Not next week, not next month, not next year. It's for the taking tonight. And I want you to share it with anybody who has the same stuck mentality that we're debunking tonight. Okay? So go ahead and drop an emoji in the chat, whether you're watching here live on YouTube, on Facebook, or you're watching the replay. Drop an emoji if you've ever felt like you wanted to start something, but you simply did not have enough to get started. Okay. And you've heard yourself say, I'll start when I fill in the blank. Well, I'll start when I fill in the blank. Okay. So this story that I'm going to share tonight comes from 2 Kings, chapter 4, verse 1 through 7. Okay. There was a widow. You may have heard the story. There was a widow. She was in debt, so much so that she was literally, you guys, about to lose her son to creditors. Can you imagine losing your offspring, your child to creditors, like being that much in debt? And she goes to Elijah and he asks her, okay, she tells him what's going on, whatnot. And so he asks her, what do you have in your house? And this widow says, I have a little oil. And you know how when we put the LIL apostrophe on something, we're not giving it a whole lot of merit, right? I have a little oil. And when she said that to him, he said, I want you to go borrow, heavy on the borrow. I want you to go borrow some jars, not one jar, not 2 jars, not 3 jars. Go borrow a bunch of jars, bring them back to your house, close the door, don't let anybody in. This is y'all listen to this metaphorically. Close the door, don't let others in. This is what I want you to do. This is what your assignment is. With those, I want you to take those jars and that little oil you have, and I want you to start pouring. Now, I imagine if she's anything like women today, she immediately started thinking, but I just told you I only have a little bit of oil. And you've told me to go get all these jars. I don't even have enough oil to fill one jar, never mind all of these jars. I imagine that that's what she was probably thinking, but that is not what she acted on. She did what he said. She goes, she borrows, heavy on the borrows a bunch of jars. She goes in her house, she starts to pour the oil in the jars. Can I tell y'all what the Bible says is that as long as she poured, the oil kept pouring. And it kept pouring, and it kept pouring, and it kept pouring. And the oil did not run out. until she was on the last jar. Like she filled up the last jar. Now, I want you to think about whatever your situation is right now. Like, what is the thing that you're wanting it, you're praying for it, you're hoping for it, you're writing it in your journal, but you're not in motion, like you're not pouring the oil, okay? So what she called a little oil ended up actually being more than enough once she started moving in faith. Do you need to move in faith? Is that the only ingredient that's missing? That's what I want you to think about tonight. Is that moving in faith? Is that the only thing that's missing? Okay? Yeah, like I told you guys, I work with coaches and entrepreneurs every day that are sitting on their oil. Drop a message in the Facebook chat to let me know that you're here. Are you somebody that is sitting on your oil? You've been praying for a thing. Like I said, I work with them every day. They're sitting on the oil. They've got stories that can change lives. They've typed up in a Google Doc exactly what they want their program to be. They've maybe put the slide deck. I talked to a lady. She had her whole program put into Canva, and she's like, I got the slide deck. I got everything, Coach Kelly, but she hasn't moved yet. I talk to people who have so much wisdom. Man, listen, the thing is, they have all these things, but they have not started pouring. What if that's the only missing ingredient? That's what I want you to take away. What if that's the only missing ingredient? Because the oil is your gift. The oil is your story. The oil is your process. The oil is the value that you can and will bring to the marketplace once you start moving. The jars are the system that you're going to create. They have the ability to hold the blessings that you've asked for if you get in motion. You guys, I had a woman who had been through a divorce, and she had a heart now. She's 3 years on the other side of her divorce, and she has a heart now, had a heart now to help other women who are going through their first year of divorce, because she told me, she's like, that first year, Coach Kelly, I didn't think I was gonna make it. I thought it was going to take me out. I see women struggling with this. I want to help, but I don't know how to formalize a coaching program. I mean, I was talking to a lady the other day at my office. This is her telling me. And she's like, I was reluctant. I was in my spirit. I was like, should I say I can help her? Should I say I've been through a divorce? Because she was kind of new on my floor, right? So she didn't know. She was struggling internally with herself, whether she would let herself help this woman. And the holdup was that she didn't have a website. She didn't have the coaching program off, but she didn't have a certification. People who want transformation don't care about that. They care about you getting them the transformation. All she needed to do was start pouring. And in that element, if you're wondering, in that element, her pouring would have been equivalent to her, tapping the lady on the shoulder. Hey, I heard what you were saying in the break room. I've been through a divorce. I understand where you're at. I thought it was going to take me out. It didn't. Are you open to us having a conversation tonight, later after work, not in the workplace? Are you open to us having a conversation? That would have been the equivalent to her pouring her oil. What is it that you need to take action on and start? Y'all are getting me off my lesson plan. Get me off my lesson plan. What is your oil right now? What do you need to do? What do you need to take action on? What life lessons have you lived that you could take those life lessons and you could help someone else? And you're pouring your oil is just starting. Okay? Don't think that the thing that you have, don't think that it isn't enough. It is enough. Hey, Julia, right? So you don't need more clarity, you guys. Stop telling yourself that. You need more courage. You already have the oil. Provision follows obedience. You don't need all this planning. Provision follows obedience. The oil didn't stop flowing until the jars filled up. So when you go and you write in your journal tonight, and you're looking at your next moves, and you're mulling over the miracle, the prayer that you've been saying, the thing that you've been waiting on. What I want you to allow to immediately drop into your spirit is, what do I already have? Let me say it again. What do I already have that I can be in motion on? And now I'm not promising any kind of overnight success, but what I do know is I've worked with enough people as a coach, as a coach's coach, to see that once people get in motion, it works for them. Like, I literally had a lady today in one of my high ticket programs. She started, I don't even think it's been 2 weeks. I think today would be 2 weeks, through the end of 2 weeks. And she said, I went to lunch with an old friend of mine, and I found myself in the middle of our conversation saying, oh my gosh, I can help her. Like, she didn't go to lunch. They didn't set up the lunch for her to become her client. She realized mid conversation that, oh my gosh, exactly what she's saying, this is exactly what I want to coach on. You know why? Because she was already in motion. She was already pouring. So I want you to drop, whether you're watching this live right now on Facebook or whether you're going to watch it, the replay on YouTube. I want you to write pouring down in the chat if you are willing to pour, if you are willing to think about, what is it that I can do with the little that I have? What can I pour? What action can I take? What motion can I start? Not next week, today, tonight, tomorrow, in the next 24 hours. What can I start pouring with what I have? You don't need something else. Stop telling yourself that, okay? So, as a reminder, if you're ready to multiply what's in your hands, I've got a 7-figure coach summit coming up at the end of this month. Go to 7figurecoachsummit.com and come and check out what we're doing. I'm taking 3 days, 3 evenings to spend with people who are coaches and they want to grow in the coaching space, right? I'm going to show you how to have workshops, virtual workshops, and structure it so that you reach a lot of people and create a lot of impact and a lot of income. We're not going to forget that, because we get to have overflow and abundance. We get to, okay? Then I'm going to teach you about personal branding. Everyone should be building a personal brand. I'm going to teach you about what it looks like to have high ticket closing as a coach. And I'm also going to show you what it looks like to build a team. But what I want you to do right now, before you do anything else, I want you to sit for at least 20 minutes and write from what they call stream of consciousness. What does stream of consciousness mean? It means when you just start, you write a topic at the top of your page and you just start writing and writing and writing. You put on a timer, topic. Remember that. Timer, topic. I see you, Ebony, pouring. I see you, Julia, pouring. Are you guys going to do this? Timer 20 minutes, topic. And I don't want you to correct yourself. I don't want you to mark anything out. You don't need to worry about punctuation, none of those things. I want you to write down, what is your oil? What can you start taking motion on? What have you been calling, well, I have a little this, I have a little that. It's not little to God, because He can take whatever you have and pair it with the obedience, and He can make it pour until He fills all your jars. And that's truly what you've been praying for. Y'all, this has been part 3 of a 3-part series on biblical principles around wealth, which has been taboo in the African American community. We need to stop that. Okay? They told us money doesn't grow on trees. I didn't find out till I was adult. Yes, it does. All you have to do is put enough knowledge here in your brain to create assets, change your mindset, get enough knowledge to create assets to put out in the marketplace. When you put those assets out in the marketplace, they end up reaching people, impacting lives. People exchange the value, money. You give them value, they exchange what they value that for, which is money. And that's how I found out as a whole grown big age adult that money does actually grow on trees if you understand how it works. Y'all, I'm done. Watch the other 2 videos in the series, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye.